Well, talking about plates. Okay, so when you talk to Bisa, catch up home with us never before.
Okay, then the development, when do the development finish? When is Tanzania?
Is it possible? Are we allowed to eat with our hands? Except for the salads.
What do you mean?
No, Chad, I can't deal with eating with it. Oh, yeah. So,
there's no way. That's I get. These are the friends.
These are the friends and Smooth. Oh, wow.
I know it's your guys.
Yeah?
It's your guys.
The friends and Smooth.
And Smooth. Featuring Smooth.
Featuring LBJ.
Black Jesus.
Legend. Oh, man. Yeah. So, I'm curious to hear what is the thought process around, what do PE people think about this new name?
Name change.
I have no idea, man. I haven't been to be in a while. But in because this didn't happen just overnight.
Okay.
So it's been in talk for like 3 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not sure about this kind of thing.
Okay.
What most people, I think like a lot of PE people who've moved out of PE don't understand that this is not a new name. Okay. That's one of the townships there, Warmer.
Okay.
It's Kabeja. It's always been Kabeja. Even the rugby team from there, I played a couple of games on Kabeja, Warmer Wales.
Yeah.
It's a river. There's even a suburb with the English equivalent of Kabeja,
Which is what?
What does that mean?
What is what?
It's a river. It's a river. It means it's the reeds around the river that runs through the area which is called Port Elizabeth.
That's
Yeah.
Kabeja. Yeah.
Sounds like something with the end, like no pillar code.
No better call.
Well, you can identify it as anything. Like I'm sure you could put it in a sentence and we'd understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah, but I am actually the same we get Kabeja.
No, but I mean, a lot of people are saying it's a waste of money. At this time, why should we be changing names? Why can't these things be stopped? Why can't we wait?
Because
Wait for what?
those people are thinking exactly how they've been taught to think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Names are very important in identity. They're very important. It's like it was one of the fundamentals of apartheid. You take away their language, you take away they believe their culture, you take away their names. Most of our parents have an English name.
Some of us.
Some, and it's always embarrassing. Yeah, no way.
I want to know Smooth's English name.
Peter.
Peter.
Same Peter. Same Peter. That guy.
So the gravity of it is very important, and those who are against that will show you some. For instance, there was one guy from the DA, and I was researching some stories this week. He's like, ANC is too caught up on name changes when the unemployment rate is this much, blah blah. Those are not two mutually exclusive things. It's not like we only have to think about the one and not think about the other. Those things can happen. The one does not, like counteract the other.
But don't you think that it's because also people don't understand though? Like, the biggest fight people are having is that we're wasting money on something and we're broke as a country.
No, but we're any department then you're doing their own things. Any department then you're doing their own things.
Yeah.
So
Hence, do people understand?
No, they should be understanding. If the Department of Transport is building roads and now all of a sudden they're building million
Are you saying budgets can't be shifted?
Budgets can be shifted, but budgets make qala. Everyone gets their budget. If my budget is to change I'm gonna do it.
And it just so happens that would be on the media at that time, because it does not mean that other departments are not working or doing their job. So what politicians try to do is try to shift the focus. So that's why there's a lack of understanding.
Okay.
Because people don't have enough time and people don't pay attention to they pay attention to headlines.
Yeah.
And then they react to that, not to the story.
They don't read the whole thing.
They don't read the whole
That's
thing.
true.
So it's a political move to shift their mind from thinking about the importance of these names to making it a little thing compared to something else.
Something big.
Which is, it's not taken away from that at all.
Okay, maybe Asitini, they should teach people on the ground about these things,
Thank
Zama
you.
budgets and
That's my
stuff.
point.
Like, Mina, from where I'm sitting, if you're busy changing names and people here are hungry or there are floods there, you should be taking this money and doing that and that.
Okay, with
To
that,
me, it doesn't make sense.
With that, kun-94 when they changed Opulukwane, Mapokwane, and all these Limpopo towns changed, no one outcry.
But see, people can't just move.
No, and that's on 94, but I need to change for your identity. We need to change all these.
No, but you know what my thing is, and you guys have to acknowledge what Mp and I are saying.
Okay.
It's not taking away from that, taking away from identity. The fact of the matter is, the one thing that I think in this country we haven't done well is integrating, educating, and but it's someone who are on the floor that don't understand, as Umpile has just said.
Do you think they really care though? The people.
I do.
Don't you think they do?
Like I said,
If they don't care,
I'm saying to you. Sorry, bro.
I want to read these things with media, right?
Yeah.
Then it's trending.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, somebody comment.
Yeah.
Simple like PU just changed. It doesn't really.
No, but wait, guys. Here's the thing. We had the 5G situation like a couple of months back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's what
Unfortunate
happens.
situation.
The unfortunate situation. And I don't think people don't care, to be honest with you. I think that, Jay, we are so accustomed to the way that we live life that we think that this is the way life should be. So, for example, if there's gossip going around, it's actually the funniest thing. And the first thing Mo said to me was like, how quick is gossip spread? It spreads quickly, right?
Yeah.
Because it's something that people don't really, it's there. But then lies start being spread. And then that is how things get thwarted. Like as in, abantu ke bona abasafundi. Because ngoku kuzothiwa i-5G 1010 kuyotshiswa ii-towers abantu.
True.
You understand what I'm saying?
And they've been burning.
Which is an education. The education value is important.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
The gist of it. Like I said, people are taught how to perceive. People are taught how to perceive. They are taught what to know and what to look for and what to react to. And that is loosely, that is mainly based on the media. An example would be, say myself, I do something outside of the stage, something ridiculous that other people find ridiculous. I don't know. Maybe I get seen smoking weed, and then it gets put up. What is he trying to teach the kids?
Yeah.
Where I was just chilling, smoking weed, not saying anything to the kids. You know what I mean? So is it my responsibility, or is it the people who went and took that image and showed it to the
No, but
kids?
it's actually a good
In the rules that they're trying to say what is Mbu, whereas it's them that are showing the kids.
It's not good for the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Never said anything.
I didn't say anything. It would be a different story if I was sitting right side of a crash. Telling the kids, you know what I mean? That's a whole different story. But
or maybe you're on stage and you're busy rolling.
but
your stage you can
do that because it's my stage. I can do that unless
it's you that is
unless you book me for your event and you say to me, please, there will be these people and these people and these people. I'll ask you, what type of audience can I expect? And you say these people, and these people. Then I will know, Uba, and then I'll tell you not to worry. But if it's a show where people see me on the poster and go, let's go watch Mbu, then that is
They
my
must
stage.
expect anything.
Yeah.
But
Alright.
now that's why, because now you know what's in the record, the social media, it's going to transcend their audience. Then it goes to the sensitive people about why permits on
No,
stage.
but I'm
Ufuna abantu ba permits on stage, promoting in South Africa. Then the media takes
But
it.
wait, but wait, here's the thing. And this is now the problem that we find with social media is that people obviously are not semi-civilians are for their own benefits. I can't do it. Like, if that's what they want to do, that's what you want to do. But now, how much must I restrict my life, knowing that, okay, now the normality of what I am, I have to wait for the person who's a tatty picture and spread it. And then people are going to make their own preconceived decisions about what it is, right?
This will be public space.
The
Public figure.
for
I'm a
me,
comedian, so.
I feel you when you are in the public light, starting off, you teach your audience. You teach your audience. I think a lot of young people starting out in any form of art, a lot of them think, okay, fine. As soon as I get famous, then I can do all of these,
Crazy things.
keep it real type shit. Come back to once I get famous, they don't understand that you can't work that way.
Yeah.
So when you get into it and you maintain who you are, it's easier to sustain that than when every single time someone comes along with a new style that people are adapting to, you adapt to that. You adapt. So you teach people. So every time you adapt, now you have to explain to people why am I doing this? Whereas if from straight up in your career, I've been doing comedy for 10 years. Over 10 years in fact, and no one can be shocked by anything that I do off stage, because it's none of your business. It's none of your business. I've had people say, "Yo, Mbu gets high, and he gets drunk." Yeah, because I drink. it's the end result of drinking. You know what I mean? That's got nothing to do. Like, you don't know what I have to live through to come through with the material that I come up with. And I've got friends. I mean, this is the friends table. My friends can tell me, you need to slow down. The rest of the people, you talk about what I'm doing on stage. You say, yo, I like that joke like this, or I didn't like that joke like that. That's it. That's all.
On that one, can I ask a question on that one? Then how does then, I need to, the public perception, if you're a public figure, then your brand per se, to a certain degree, public perception matters. View in order to get maybe bigger gigs or whatever.
Sure.
Then the thin line, how do you stay true to yourself? Go to Safuna to get the bigger bag, or you just F the bag?
You the one principle you must have as a performer is that you perform to your audience. You perform to your audience. So to their understanding. For instance, this whatever what's the famous place here around Utrecht? That's Italy. So I'll have a joke where I talk about a place like that's Italy. This is just an example of how you talk to the people, the audience that is in front of you right now. I would say maybe if I'm in Tata, I will talk about Corner Lounge. And in PE, I will talk about Gwandebe. And then when I'm here, because I'm talking to these people, I'll talk about Zanzi Guitar. And immediately they like, I know he's talking to us. Like we know that. So in that regard as well, there is a way of delivering yourself to each demographic in a way that they can understand. You don't have to change your content of your material. Just tell them in a way that they will understand. There is no, in comedy, there is no subject matter that you're not allowed to joke about.
On that one. So there's no subject matter. So you're saying comedy is not restricted, right?
At all.
That means I can think too soon. Someone just dies yesterday and we're on them making jokes. But that's gonna be viewed as insensitive, immature.
Again, it's how you deliver it. It is how you. There's certain things there's certain things because some people are gonna find something to be offended by. I swear to you. Whereas I remember class. This is an example of what you're talking. Some people are going to be offended. When Kobe Bryant passed away, I put up a post and I said, "Yo, Kobe Bryant is now an ancestor. R.I.P. Black Mamba." Some lady went on my post and said, "What do you mean? You comedians think no, you're being so insensitive. What would his family say?" Now you tell me what in that she was offended by. She was offended by the fact that I called him an ancestor. What she would have rather heard if I called him an angel.
Yeah, true.
But that's generally exactly what I said, you know. But people will find something. You just have to always now be wary of what you say. Like you train yourself so much so that it becomes second nature. I can meet anyone at any time and immediately start making fun of them without offending.
Remember,
I will be offended because some people just get offended by anything.
Yeah.
Let's say someone's mom dies. Now all of a sudden we're making fat mommy jokes. That guy might not take it lightly.
That's the thing, though. It can't come from what and how someone will take it. It has to come from you and how you deliver it. You know what I mean? I can't sit there and be like, I wonder how. Unless I know personally. Okay, see, I was going through this. Like I'm not gonna tell a joke about someone's girlfriend going overseas for a couple of months.
Okay, now it's hitting, You have to.
Then that would be insensitive. But me telling a joke about something that people have to know. This is another thing. I think people, just as a society, guys, we have to know that 99% of what people say about you, unless it's people you know, 99% of what people say about you has nothing to do with you.
No.
It's about how they have experienced life, so how they perceive stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as a performer, you have to strike a balance with Loiso Kola said this best. You have to strike a balance between, especially as a comedian, between what you think is funny and what the people in front of you think is funny.
Maybe we show you we show issue when this is funny or you
Look, you strike the
or
balance.
but when I look at come comedy now like maybe it's just for umuntu because comedy I think comedy is individualistic.
It's a choice.
It's a preference.
It's a preference. It's a preference. So now, last question, Amjele. Homophobe, racism, because we tell you to tell no boundaries.
No boundaries.
There's no way I'm listening to a white guy and a joke, a racist using terms, a racist, your K words or whatever. But you know what I know, it's a joke.
No.
Okay, I get what
I hear what you're saying. There are no boundaries in the subject matters. There are boundaries in delivery.
Yeah.
You cannot blatantly offend people. And there are ways of putting
It's
things.
not meant to offend.
No, but
No,
I
no,
mean,
there
using
is
the K
way.
words and things
There's
like that.
way.
That is
These
blatant.
black people are
guys.
dumb.
Huh?
White guy says that.
What? Black
These
people are
black
dumb.
people are dumb. In part of the joke.
That's you see, that's everything has context, ne? So that's just, you can't say that. Like when you say it like that, I don't understand the context between other. And maybe he was saying something that someone said. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So there's
Ooh, yeah.
I'll give you an example. There's a friend of mine, Prince. He has a joke about rape. Not about rape, but about rape.
Okay, explain that.
And the one time he was telling me, we were in Melbourne, he was telling me the joke. I'm sure he's retired, the joke, so it'll be fine for me to tell you. But you know, I can't just tell you that and then not give you context. He says, you know, when you grow up in the cars, he's probably not that thick of a colored accent.
Sounds like a sugar.
The way we grew up, if someone walks to you in the street and says, "What's up, gangster?" you'd be like, "What's up?" Doesn't mean you're a gangster. Let's just say greeting. What's up, gangster? If someone walks past you and says, "What's up, player?" doesn't mean you're a player. This is a greeting.
Yeah.
But if someone had to walk up to you and say, "What's up, rapist?" then you are a rapist.
Automatically, there's no prescription.
There's no way that anyone would ever call you that. And then he said, and ladies and gentlemen, that's the only way you tell a rape joke. Now, there were people sitting in the audience who weren't listening to the entire joke.
They just heard
The people in the front laughed their asses off. People sitting at the back with the community, they weren't listening to the conversation, they were drinking wine. Only thing they heard was, that's how you tell a rape joke. And then, boom. So perfect example of context. Of context. And I feel, and I really feel the Western world has made people insensitive over things that don't matter.
Yeah.
That are not black problems. I think white people have used certain words as derogatory so much in their lives that now they don't want to fix themselves to think of the word as different. Instead, everyone else must just stop using the word. For instance, black. You know how hard it is for a white person to call you black?
Yeah.
At some stage you're like, yeah, no, they don't like to be called black. Who the hell said that? Which black person said that? The word retard?
Isn't that a sensitive word?
All of a sudden,
it's got different
that's
meanings
the
as well,
thing.
so-
It's retard
Imbecile.
is an adjective for someone who's mentally unstable.
But you can't talk about mentally unstable people.
Because it's been used so many times. We learn that. You fucking retard. You know what I mean? That because the word has been jumped into.
Yeah.
Even the word fat
Yeah.
in English you can't use.
You can't call someone
You
fat.
can't. You seem to be. I was a kid.
It's cool.
And it's cool.
Or else
And
you
then
say-
you are fat. Now it's body shaming.
Yeah.
You know, because we've been taught not to fix our perception. Just the easier way is just to change. God.
If it makes you
It's a
fat.
language thing though, because like I was listening to a TED talk the other day, and this lady was actually unpacking language, and the situation about English has been made so superior, and then she gave like different examples of different languages around the world and what certain words mean, and then how they are contextualized in English. So now, our black languages, it's associated with being happy, with whatever.
You're healthy.
You're healthy and all of that stuff. You move to English.
Unless you big. Then
And Upi is not a compliment. You know, it's not a compliment. Upi, you I was happy. You shut
But
up.
now what's happening? Our kids want to be skinny. No, but our kids want to be skinny now because Galobu now they contextualize in English. So I think for me that's always been the reason why I don't want our languages to die. What they mean to what something means to us and the way our kids also see it is different to how in English it is perceived.
yeah.
It's a language thing more than anything.
Especially our fat. Fat sounds like a bad word.
Because it's been drained into us.
Your girlfriend is fat. Oh my word, fat.
Actually, what words should we use? Especially when it comes to French. What should I say?
This is the thing.
Your girlfriend's obese.
This is the thing. I think it's not even about the word. It's about, you know, if you say it genuinely, it shouldn't be like I'm describing you. I'm describing you, and I'm describing you from my experience. And obviously, I'm not gonna just blurt out of the you're so fat. No, it'll be in the context of the conversation.
Which one?
I think,
That's one.
yeah.
But you know what's the problem, Boo? Sometimes you find that if the word is being said by Sbu to Pam, it wouldn't be a problem. But if I come and say, "Hey Pam, now you fat," it would be a problem to her But since it's me who's saying it, it's not
Yeah.
Pick and choose.
It's like
Oh,
people
cause-
who says
If
what.
anybody-
Because you are in that weight class, so game, recognize game. I feel like you meant that. Welcome into the club.
Oh,
But
man.
the education element of it, guys. The education element of it. If we could, like, especially as black people, take it back. Like, it's not even take it back more than just teach our kids. For instance, with the whole problems now with, you know, the new issues, transgender,
Ooh, that's
and,
a
Yeah.
complicated
and pronouns.
issue.
Do you know that in Nguni languages, as far as I can think, there's no pronouns. There's no like, even pronouns don't stipulate what gender you are. Yeah, okay. It's not hers. It's not his. Yeah, okay. Go. So a lot of problems. Our language don't come with those problems now. If you see someone you buy, she. Who are you calling a she?
I mean, it or something.
You know, as a
I'm an aunt.
Who's that?
Call me an
though?
aunt.
Wait, on that
But who says
transgender,
that?
I've got a
No.
question for you.
Yeah.
Umuntu oyi-transgender uclassify stubborn gay.
No.
Are they gay?
No. It's not. I don't think it's sexual orientation more than it's gender laws. So it's someone who feels. A lot of the times, né, when a child is born, not a lot of the times, but it happens a lot of times, where a child is born and they have both female and male gender parts, and then the parents choose. Okay, we're gonna snip this or we're gonna tuck that. They choose the gender for the child, and unfortunately, a lot of the times, you know, they choose the wrong gender. So the child grows up with I know, because you don't know how you're supposed to feel as a 9-year-old, as a boy. You don't know how you're supposed to feel. So I'm sure you don't know how you're supposed to feel. So you see other people, but I want to do that. I want to. So transgender then is when you get rid of that. My understanding is when you identify with a different gender that you are, whether you snipped or not yet. You identify as except me.
Or isn't that gay people? I think the Amajita
No,
gay identify as women.
No,
Or it's a
they
different
don't.
thing?
They don't.
but-
It's totally different. It's
Oh.
that's sexual orientation. I know I'm a dude, but I want to be with other dudes. I don't want to change to be a woman. I don't feel like a woman. It's like I'm a dude. I want to do things that like, but when the lights go off, I want to be with another dude. That's totally different. That's sexual orientation.
But I also think
And then
that
transgender is
It's
actual.
actual.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
you identify as another gender than what you are physically.
But I think also, like, I mean, going back to also talking about like languages and where we are and where we come from, you know, I'm actually glad you brought that up because,
I'm glad you're glad.
but I think that not smooth burn up. But I think that
Why do you have to bring that up?
but I think as again going back to Abantu Abamnyama, that's one thing that we still need to really understand. I know that we've come a long way and started opening up and sort of understanding, but I also still think that it still comes a long way. There's still that element of abantu abadala especially uzothiwa ngoku hayi wena siyakususa useyomkhulu uyalapha endlini. You are not the heir of the house because you come with this. And ultimately it's choice. But then I ask myself the question, we was earlier on, the same language. Bazothi otata bethu and ogogo bethu uba, is it not the same thing? If you get lendo with that, with the westernized world. That's what they'll say.
Bazobiza ngani ngenguni language?
I think it is. I think Talas.
Babiza Talas.
I think so. I'm not sure if that's the derogatory word, but I mean I heard the word when I was really young. generationally so, we will always change. I think that the deep-rooted problem about Goti is that as black South Africans, I don't think we have a say. We're starting to get a say in how the world works.
Yeah.
But including ourselves. Like, we are taught to just take in. Take in. And that's deep-rooted. Like, the first history lesson that every South African school kid is taught about is 1652.
Jan van Riebeeck.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Now, psychologically, that says to the black kids, psychologically, this is not something loud in the ears, but it's just like it's getting built up. But listen, you guys were nothing. Even though you know you were the first policeman in this country, you guys were nothing before we came. This is where we started, and the story is painted as, which gives the white kids the opposite of that. But,
Superiority.
the superiority complex. So it's inferiority complex and superiority complex. So that's why it's so easy for like a white guy, like, guys, why don't you just forget about this? Come on, man. Come on, these guys, because they don't know. They don't know what they messed up. They don't know what the history they broke when they came. So in society, in the global community, for South Africa, and South Africa is predominantly black. It's hard for us to have our own stamp of approval, go out to the world and say this is what we are about. Because everything is just we are used to keep. So if we start from there, I think there could be, and please believe. There are people way smarter than we are here at the Friends table who are in charge, who have thought this, who know this. I can't believe that lady who's got like the English panda. She was education. I can't believe she didn't think of that. I can't believe because I cannot believe for the life of me that in the past 25 years now, 26 years, that no one from the get-go was like, let's change
the history.
Let's change. If Tina, we know our history. Like for instance, in Germany has like what? One of those percentage numbers of black people, like 2.5 black people. Like there's no 2.5 black people per no. There's no exact number. You know what I mean? In Germany, they are taught their history from the world's point of view. Exactly what they did. They're not taught to be heroes. They are not heroes. They are not, and you know that's the white kids of South Africa were taught like that. That they were heroes. They came here when there was nothing. Come on. You know, so in Germany they've got those, and you know, there's no, like I said, there's no black people in Germany. It's just a matter of, yo man, we're going, as a country, Germany, we're going to struggle in the world if we got, and we are small, we got beaten twice. we got beaten twice. Let's lick our wounds and say we are sorry. Like Germans come, that's why it's so easy.
They come here, so
they come here so many times, and they obviously because of the Western world. They teach us most. What's the first thing you feel like when you hear a German voice?
Hitler.
Yeah. You're like, hey, I'm about to be kidnapped. I was sitting with the Russian guy, probably 2015. I was away, I was sitting with a Russian guy. And he had like a typical Russian name, like Krugov or something, you know, like, oh man, Russian. And he had long hair, and he always seemed to be wet.
That's okay.
It was a dead bang in the middle of South African winter, but homeboy had his shirt out, bottle of vodka, like the
typical.
His voice scared me initially, and then I decided to block my mind from the accent and what I've been taught about it, and just take the guy on. Like, oh man.
Wow.
Oh man, his friend. Now I have to tell the whole story because it's such a boss story. He had been staying in South Africa for like a year and a half, and his friend they went to go pick him up from the airport. This was in Gqeberha.
Embracing.
And
Embracing.
his friend was from Sweden. His name was John. I thought that was like such an anticlimax. Like, oh, come on! I thought you were gonna come through with like Sven, something Swedish, not John. John kept on buying everyone drinks. Like, every time you sat down, buys you draft. He likes rum, a shot of rum, some coke, and he buys you a black label because that's what we were drinking. Every time you get up, there was like 17 at the end of them. And then Ukrugov is telling me, but no man, the problem with John just got off the flight from Joburg, which connected from Sweden. And in Sweden, alcohol is really expensive. So he can't believe how cheap alcohol is.
So he was friendly.
No, he was friendly, but he was like, what the hell?
How's this happening?
I remember when he explained the whole exchange rate and how much it is, and then I had a joke about it afterwards. And the way I explained it to my audience, you see now, it's a story that happened to me, but I have to explain it to my audience, but I can't take that long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you guys, it's like you walk into the club and you've got 40 rand. The first 20 rand, you got in with that 20 rand. And then you buy a beer, and the guy gives you back change of 19 rand 80. And you think to yourself, and then you give him the other 10 rand on the next beer, and he gives you back 9 rand 80. And you're like, whoa. How much is the beer? Beer is 20 cents. What? So that's exactly what happened to him.
Oh, okay.
It was that ridiculous for him that a beer was 20 cents.
Wow.
He bought a bottle from behind. I mean, it's a bottle of Captain Morgan. Captain Morgan at the time was probably 90 rand or something. He bought it for over 500 rand, and he was happy to do it. And then they just left because it was a news cafe, and they wanted to go somewhere with girls, and then they just left. And then
Were the girls black or white?
I don't know. They went to Gondwana. They probably had.
Oh man, but guys, yeah, we can
They
be here
left there.
forever though, okay?
So they left there, and we counted everything. Everything had 17 of each.
17 of each.
Yeah, 17 drafts, 17 black labels, 17 shots of rum, 17 cokes. And then my friends were like, dude, we're never gonna finish this dinner. Dude, never say farewell to our friends. The least we can do is try. Like, we're not just give up from the get-go. You know what I mean? And the thing is, everyone else now is looking at us. You can't even sneak out alcohol like I did earlier on. I mean, I got skills, man. I got skills. So for me, guys, I think it's very important, and it's even to our kids. Everything is about perception. To our kids, we must stop protecting our kids from the world and preparing our kids for the world. If you understand the difference.
Absolutely.
For our kids, you know, they teach every black kid that there's this saying, and it's a phrase. It never goes on its own. It always goes with other things. It never stands on its own. Don't blame white people for your problems. And then it's followed by inspirational quotes. Get up, go to school.
But the same 24 hours.
Yeah, there's something very different. What the world does to us, especially as black people, is that they make us think that with anything, it's about two choices. With anything that's on offer, it's always either or. If you sat down and thought about it, there's a world of choices.
Yeah.
It's just that we are taught to receive the information and deal with that without having. So when they say to you, don't blame white people, and then they're associated with being a hard worker. You see, those are two different things. You can live a life where you work hard and you go for your goals and you and still understand why most of the situation that you are in is caused by. It's not like you're gonna go up to white people and be like, no, but understand most of what you are, a lot of what you are, where it comes from, and that race was the cause. You're not gonna go to Bob and blame him for his people. Like Bob, you're gonna take him Bob and Bob. You're not gonna be racist about it. That thing of so they prepare you. Sorry, they prepare you now. When you get to like working stages, even at work, and a white person is being whatever to you. Maybe they're your manager and they're being rude. What if they prepare you as a black child? It's like, no, man, don't say when I be the bigger person all the time. Swallow this.
Turn down the cheek.
Turn down the cheek.
Don't blame white people for your problem. And it takes away your power to stand up for yourself, because what I think white people fear a lot, they think that pro-black is anti-white.
Yeah.
And it's not. And we find that ourselves as black people, you, for instance, if a white person would walk in here, for some reason, there'd be a different way that we treat them than if a black person had to walk in there. Initially, there's...
Go to a cashier, you get exactly that.
Hello,
ma'am. This is from plastic.
But for me, I take it, don't blame them. Acknowledge that that's what happened and that's what they did, and then take it back to you. Take it back to you. There's preconceived notions that our parents have for us, and we need to like turn over the page and yeah, but like I look back in my years as a comedian, just to find love, and I've always been Mbu.
Which rhymes with Sbu.
No, man. No. Like as the alphabet goes, it's Sbu that rhymes with Mbu. I've always been Mbu. There's one thing I'm very proud of. I've always been Mbu. It's, you'd understand if you haven't always been yourself, or you've always been yourself, you'd understand. Stay you, man. Like, stay you. Like, if I want to read what's written on the camera, like the subtitles, I'll do that, because Mbu will do that. HD. The price tag is still there, 28 million. Oh, I better look good.
But Mbu, I have a question then. Uti, over the years since uqale comedy, what have you learned about yourself? Okay, you're saying manje, you've been Mbu, but then I know on your journey there's something that you've learned about yourself.
I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned the importance of gut feeling. Sometimes you can't explain why you don't feel like doing something, or you can't explain it to everyone. But I've learned that about myself. I learned that I indulge a lot in things, even in conversation. No, I don't think I drink more than anyone, but when I do drink, I sometimes I go beyond. But I mean, I don't think that's something to learn. That's just something you know about Kechong. After 3, those are cool liars, more than anything. I've learned it's fine to be scared of anything. It's fine to be scared. That's not whatever that you are going through is about, or what you're about to do. It's fine to be scared. It's actually one of those, to the point you feel weird when you're not. What's missing? Like nerves when you are taking steps in your life. Yeah. I think that comes with that. So, and there's a way that fear there's a fear that's bad, and then there's a fear that's mixed with excitement. You somehow over the years you learn to differentiate between the two. And I've learned that I try to. I think with kids can feel it, or someone who knows you. Yeah, it's about okay. That's what he meant, or that's how he feels. Because in general life and just on stage, I have to be very specific. I can't. I have to say what I mean. Hence, if you ever see me make a mistake on stage, it's probably because I did that on purpose. It's gonna come back and make sense. You know what I mean? So in life, I felt that a lot of things are fine. A lot of things that we've been told, they fine. And there are no absolute truths, except if they're mathematical. I need to explain that. There are no absolute truths. 1 + 1, that's an absolute truth. Will always be 2.
It's a construct.
Cool, but if you take it within how it's built, 1 + 1 will always equal 2. That's just how I. And then with general life, one person's truth it is not necessarily everyone else's truth, and even one of your truths is not always it doesn't always have to be your truth. You know what I mean? It's fine to change your mind about it. There's a lot of things that we restrict ourselves to because of how the world is going to see. It's like, oh, grand, bro. Roll yourself a joint, try, and actually think about things that. There's things that a lot of people jump up about it, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so much so that over the past decade or so, I can't react to things like it's like, yeah.
Okay.
Like it's like there's nothing I can't do about it. Like oh, okay, yeah, right. Well, see, like,
Alright.
very patient, very patient because a woman wants. And then, I hope it. Have you been in it? Oh, word. That's cool. it's cool. Even if it's something, and it's not always something sad or exciting. No, it's just generally, I'm not gonna be sad, or even though I feel it, I'm not gonna be like outwardly sad. People will feel your energy. They'll be like, I'm like a child when like an active child. That's like the best child to have because when they're sick,
Yeah.
Other children who are like,
Why Joe supposed to say?
why you seem like that type of baby?
Yeah, I guess.
Especially when I saw him in the maroon suit last week.
So I went to already. Good guys, yeah, we can be here all day, but guys, first one, it was awesome. I think thank you, StandUpMbu. Thanks for joining us at the friends table. Yeah, Smoke, P, Zanzi Eatery. Yeah, it's been good, guys. We didn't realize we all wearing. It's okay, but like, so speak.
I left mine in the car, man.
It's okay, shut up.
But yeah, guys, part of being friends, and I mean, it's what we were talking about with P on radio last week is. How do you grow yourself as friends? And I think this is going to be the gist of the Friends Table. Is the only difference is that we're going to invite awesome people. All right?
That's the only difference.
That's the only difference.
So I am the
You are
person
an awesome
who's not
person
awesome.
today.
Oh, I thought you said the only.
Benchmark for awesome people.
She said the only difference is that we're gonna invite awesome people, and then she pointed at me.
No, I'm saying like you.
Oh, okay. Hey, people have died for much less.
Yeah, man.
You see, I didn't say GBV, but that was a GBV joke. And it was funny in the context. There's nothing funny about GBV, but what I said in the context was funny. You see?
There we go.
It's when you talk to people.
Yeah. So guys, it's Utrecht, Mzansi Eatery. P. This is the beautiful lady that gave us our beautiful meal today. This one, she's the one. She's the Indlovukazi, in other words. I always say to people, short left, please short left to Utrecht. It's not Utrecht as Umbu said the other day, guys. It's Utrecht.
Or Utrecht.
Utrecht. Or Utrecht. Or Emadlange.
How do you know I said Utrecht?
I saw it on your post.
But I wrote it down, so.
You wrote it as Utrecht.
Oh, but I identified it as Utrecht. Yeah, man, I enjoy myself too. It's always good to be here. I'm pretty sure the food tastes just as beautiful when it's not free, so come through.
Oh man, thank you guys.
Siyabonga. Shilungile ke.
Sure.
Boy.